Yeah, we're doing this now. Garfield Talk is on hiatus or something. I got these Furbies. They were like brand new in the original packaging. I put batteries in. They don't seem to work. Or the batteries are dead. The batteries have been laying around a while. It might be that. I don't know. Anyway, a couple things to address. First, these markers. All right. So the markers, there's wiggle room if I take a marker out. They're all this style of marker. There's wiggle room. You gotta believe me. You see, they're moving back and forth. There's room for one more marker. You can tell. But if I try to put it in, the box does this thing where like it won't go in. It doesn't fit. I don't know. I don't know the physics behind this box. I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, uh, Sailor Moon was weird. Like rewatching the show, there was some things I don't remember. I didn't watch it as much as I watched like Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z and stuff, but I was certainly aware of it. There is something I like to mention, which is that I joined. There was like DBZ mail and like Sailor Moon mail on like the early internet, and I know I joined the Sailor Moon mail one, and like you go into chat rooms and stuff, but it was back in the day where like that stuff wasn't optimized. So I remember you just like chat with. I was like Darien Boy or some shit. I was so like I don't know. This is oh my god. But like, what am I doing? Okay, so you would go on and like little. It would be like one big chat room with then like independent chats, and I remember there was a couple times where you'd get into it with like someone random, but then if somebody new talked to you, the window would just go like directly over it, and I remember I had a few chats where once I exited the other one, it was like, "Hello, like, are you still there? Why are you ignoring me?" It was probably like a 48-year-old man trying to like get at me, but I don't know. I might have made somebody feel real bad. Yeah, the Furbies are dead. Who cares? Anyway, any other things? I don't know. This show. This isn't a recap show. I'm just gonna go on like weird tangents like I always do, but I did recap the entire episode. I have 3 pages of notes, double spaced, but 3 pages nonetheless. A page and a half, single spaced. All right. Episode 1, a moon star is born, which if you know what the moon star is, like you're on board with me. He's cool. Oh yeah, at the beginning it's like this is from a faraway place in time. I'm like, no, it's not. It takes place. It's like modern day. But then I didn't know that they're like sent from the past to the future. Like they like time travel 1,000 years. The theme song. I mean, everybody remembers the theme song, fighting evil, but like I like how it has that guitars thing at the beginning. Like it reminds me of how now there's like not baby metal, but I guess that or like what's that? Like Poppy has that one album where it's like pop and metal. I don't know. Sailor Moon might have a full credit on that. But yeah, I don't know. This is only just my random thoughts too. But it's like I remember asking my parents if I could dye my hair black, which I have like dark hair anyway, so like I didn't need that. But like I was like, wow, if I was like Darien, then like girls will like me. And this is like second, third. Where I'm like, I don't. Nothing was gonna happen. It was just weird, like insecure boy bullshit. But I do. It does make me. It takes me back. Oh yeah, but secret power is also new to her. I never knew that was the line. I don't know what I thought it was, but yeah. The stuff where she's in like a white wedding dress a lot, and I don't know if that's weird like symbolism stuff, but something about it is just odd to me. Where it's not her normal uniform. I don't remember when that comes up in the show, like for real. Maybe it's her like Super Saiyan form, basically. But oh yeah, it's funny to see. In the opening credits, it shows like not the I don't know. I guess you can go to the show knowing that there's gonna be like 5 characters or whatever. But it shows the second cat, the white one. I think he's a guy. I don't remember his name though. But I'm like, isn't it kind of early on? I don't know. I think that would have been a fun surprise if you're like, oh, there's a new cat. And like I don't know. Now, oh yeah, Luna, the first cat. I forgot that. I don't know what her accent is. It might just be British, but it's like, hello, oh Serena, what are you doing? I don't know what that is. But it reminds me of like the old actor ladies in like Coraline or whatever, or the ones that like kidnapped Tommy and Rugrats and they renamed him Bostwick. But oh yeah, the accents in this show are fucking crazy. Where it's like, I do like the setup for Beryl though, where it's like, um, she wants to rule she wants to rule the moon and then the universe. It's just I don't know, being overly critical of the show. I'm like, that's a fun jump. Like not just the moon, the solar system, the universe. Like, good for you, I guess. There's a lot of space to rule over, and you're getting beat up by like how I think they're 14 in this one. I don't know if in the original Japanese one they're like 12. Oh yeah, that's another thing. I'm doing the original English dub. I know that pisses people off, but I like how weird and like crappy it is. So whatever, we're doing that. I know they changed things. I know there's some episodes that are only
they like did not dub over, and I guess I'll just like watch the Japanese version of that with subtitles. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Who cares? And then if I do like 400 of these, I can restart and do the redub. So that's fun. We have that to look forward to. The Mega Force. What a great name for whatever. It's like the evil force, I guess, but it doesn't sound evil. I feel like that's just like what you call stuff. And I don't know. Mega Force doesn't sound too scary to me, but I don't know. I guess maybe it's one of those things where like they will use it, like the good guys will use it one day, and then they're like, yeah, it's not the Mega Force. It's like the Force. It's not the like if you're a Sith and you use the Force, it's bad, but if you're a Jedi, it's good usually. I don't know. There's nuance to that. But yeah, once again, I had no idea that like time travel was such a strong element. They're like, yeah, we're gonna send their souls or something to the future, and they get sent to Earth in like materia orbs, but I also don't get where I'm like, maybe this will be a reveal later, but like, if they're did they literally time travel, or is it just like a consciousness thing where, like, because I don't understand, like, is the main girl Sailor Moon Serena? Did she live as a baby with her mom, or is her mom like brainwashed into thinking she's been there her whole life, or I don't know. I don't know what's gonna go down there, but yeah, like, is she reincarnated? Um, it did take me back when she's like late for school, and it's like the mom's like, I told you you were gonna get up like 3 different times, and then you just went back to bed. That was like almost nightmare fuel inducing. But yeah, stuff like that's too real. We're like, oh, and then everybody's like, your parents are all pissed off at you. You get to school, the teacher's pissed off at you. That's just like everybody. People hate kids. Okay, they hate kids. Where it's like parents are way too ready to be mad at their kids, and then they chill out when they get way older. But it's like the stuff. I'm gonna rip on teachers for a little bit. Okay, some teachers, the stuff that some teachers get mad about is so insane that it's like you must just be like a loser who hates yourself, or like what was some dumb I got in trouble for? Just like any of those things. Like let's say even you respond to a question in like a sort of silly way. Like, is that ruining your day? Or I guess maybe it's happening like 20 times in a row. But you know that there's certain teachers where they're just like, I'm gonna get into this profession because I fucking hate kids, and I'm gonna lord my power over them, and just like any chance I get to take a shot at them, I will do it. I just remember there were definitely teachers where it's like, you clearly care less about like the discipline part of that, and more that like you now get to like rip on me for something like, God, I wish I could think of it like a good example. Like I broke a sprinkler like completely on accident once at school. I just like tripped on it and it broke, and then you're now in trouble with everybody. Like they think you like vandalized it. I think a yard dude, he saw me trip on it. It's still like, hey, you broke that. Like you have to go to Saturday school now. Like whatever it was so dumb. Anyway, teachers do better. Oh yeah, and then when they meet that cat, there's like little kids crowded around it, and I thought they were gonna be like, oh, we're just petting it, but then I'm like, they might have just been beating it up. It's like, what the fuck? Like, is that like a thing that kids in Japan commonly do? Just beat up cats? But then it gets up. It's got a band-aid on its head to like cover its little moon mark, and I don't know. Again, how long has this cat been here? It's been waiting years, I guess, to see if this girl appears. But then later in the episode, it's revealed that like Sailor V, which is obviously Sailor Venus, like she's been at this for a while. Which now I'm like, how old is she? Why is she aware first? I don't know. I know these questions will be answered in time. The cat gets up. It does a Mew flip. Like, I don't know. I don't think Pokemon was around at that point, but it must be like the animation looks too similar to like when you see Mew flying around in the movie. Whatever. Oh yeah, and then her friend Molly, like the little redhead chick, who has a Boston accent, or like, I don't know. She's like, she reminds me of like side characters in Clueless or something. But she's like, "You want to go shopping later, hun?" Like stuff like that, and I'm like, who? I think it's a fun choice, but it is like, it's so for a show. I know there's like an element of disbelief or like suspension of disbelief, but like there's Japanese writing everywhere. You know you're in Japan, but I don't know. I guess it's just a world where like everything's Japanese now, so who cares? Oh yeah, that Melvin guy. I forgot about him from back in the day. He's got like weird spiral eyes. He's definitely got like, no, I don't know. I think he has a crush on Serena, but now I'm like, is he just a dork who like likes people to study with him? That could be it. I don't know. Yeah, so she's like a clueless character. She's Bostonian. Oh yeah, and the scene where they're like, "Do you want to go study, or do you want to, or are they going to study?" They're like, I don't know. They're trying to figure out what to do, but then they spend like 2 or 3 minutes on this scene where they're like, "We could go shopping," and then they list things that they could go shopping for. Which then once they go shopping, they're like freaking out about this jewelry. Where I'm like, I don't know. I'm not a chick, so I don't know. There was nothing like I would go to like Harry Potter midnight releases and stuff, but even then I was like, all the kids here are way weirder than me, where they're like, oh my god, I can't the book, and I'm just like flipping through like strategy guides and stuff, like trying to pass the time, and it's like in A Christmas Story when like you're in line and that weird kid behind it like I like Harry Potter, and you're like, okay, yeah, we all kind of do, but whatever. God, people like that. The type of kid where like on the first day of school they clearly have difficulty making friends, but they like lean way too hard into it, and they're like, okay, so I'll like come over to your house, and you're like, well, dude, I don't even know you. Like, you gotta chill out. Like, it's like looking back on stuff like that, where it's like, God, I was never that bad, but then I'm like, I'm sure I did stuff like that with girls, where it's like, you meet them, and then they're like, oh, okay, I can like tolerate this guy. But then you're like, oh yeah, we could do this, and this, and like sometimes you meet people where it's like that's fine, where you're both like super into it. But then it's weird being on the other end of that now, where like girls will try to do that to me, and they're like, all right, let's plan like 20 things at once, and I'm like, now I don't want to do anything with you. Like, I'm freaked out now. You guys like how I talk out of the side of my mouth? It looks like this half the time, where it's like, yeah, your face got cut off at one part of your life, and then we reattached it, but we didn't do it right, and we didn't have time to do it again, so this is just your face now. It's sideways. Now I can fix it. People think I had like a stroke or something. I was just born that way, baby. Anyway, where are we at? Oh yeah, I like the effect when the queen lady's got like a staff and it's got like an orb in it, but it's like it's not. I don't know. Remember when we called CGI 3D? We're like, oh, it's in 3D, dude, but it like wasn't. It wasn't. We already had like rotoscope 3D or whatever. What am I talking about? The like the red and blue glasses. We had that. That was 3D. But then for some reason, like if you're watching Mortal Kombat and Reptile comes out and it's that like PlayStation 1 graphics Reptile, at the time I think it was like, even though it didn't look good, but you're like, wow, there's like a computer movie on screen, so you like didn't care. It didn't. I don't know. I don't think it threw me as much. Also, I was 5 when that movie came out, so whatever. But yeah, the thing in the staff, it like, I don't know. It just looks cool. I'm complimenting CGI for once in my life, so shut the fuck up. All right, the queen needs their energy. Oh yeah, the plot is weirdly like, not that all these like kiddie show plots aren't like weirdly like Pokemon, go catch everything and like fight and do battles and stuff. But and like DBZ, like save the universe. But at least there's like a clear villain. I know she's the villain, but her goal is weird, where it's like, I just need everyone's energy. I don't know. Oh yeah. So then the way she does that is she sends, what's her name, like Morga or something. Which I don't know if we see her ever. No, I guess we do, because she looks like one of those like Shinigami things. But or she turns her neck around like 180 degrees at one point. It looks real cool. I like that. Where I was like, oh, that would freak me out if I saw that. But yeah. So she sends this like demon lady down, and I don't know if she looks exactly like Molly's mom or if I just didn't notice the change in animation. I had a couple issues with this. Where okay, so the sale they're having is that they're not giving them out. There's like massively discounted jewelry, and the jewelry is gonna like absorb everyone's energy, and then Queen Beryl is gonna like use it for whatever the hell she's gonna use it for. They don't really say. They're just like, we need their energy. I don't know if she has some weapon that like needs energy where it's, I don't know. Queen Beryl's intentions are vague to me. Maybe they will become clear later. But she's very much just like, give me all the energy, all the power, and then somehow I'll parlay that into like, I'll rule the universe. The vastness of the universe, which we now know to be possibly infinite. Wouldn't you just be, if somebody was like, do you want to rule the universe? I'd probably be like, yeah, sure, why not? But like, if it was like you conquering it and you had like, there's stakes involved where it's like people are going to try to overthrow you, I'd be like, all right, the moon, great. I guess that's what they say. There's like, there used to be a civilization on the moon, because I was like, why do you want to rule the moon? There's nothing there. But I don't know. I guess it got destroyed at some point, or I don't know. Maybe we'll find Sailor Moon's real, like how Digimon's real to those little freaks. But like yeah, I don't understand. Wouldn't you'd rule the Earth first, and then I don't know where her like there's like one blonde dude that works for her so far already, and you're like, are you human? Are you a moon man? Why are you just like, no, just I'm broadly evil, so I'm just gonna work for somebody else who's evil. Like, I don't know. I know people make jokes about this, about like every evil organization. I'm just like, if they did like an annoying blowout of the Sailor Moon universe, they'd be like, yeah, this guy like grew up. He'd probably have like Meowth's origin story where he was like abused and abandoned, and Queen Beryl was like the only one who was nice to him or something. I bet he dies later though. But Yeah, energy and Megaforce stuff I thought was weird, but whatever. Okay, yeah. So Molly's mom. So Molly's mom like is Morga, this like demon lady who wants to steal everyone's energy. Oh yeah, and I forgot to. So the jewels are massively discounted, but I'm like, just be like, we're having a giveaway. But I don't know. What would she think? Like people would be like, oh no, that's suspicious. Like I don't believe you. I'd just be like, yeah, we're doing a promotion. Like you could even say like these aren't like real diamonds or whatever, because then she tries to sell Sailor Moon like a diamond ring or something, and it's like sucking her energy out too. It's like I think they said it was a 20-carat diamond ring for like $10 or something, and they all freak out and like swarm her, and they all try to get it, and you're like, would chicks? Do you guys just wear like a diamond ring, or doesn't that mean you're engaged, or can you just wear one on like a finger? I guess you can. I should get a diamond ring and wear it on my right hand, but and they can slap people. Oh yeah, and then I think they kind of imply that like Molly's mom might just be drunk or something. Like Molly, it checks out like Boston, and maybe she's like Irish. She does have red hair. Okay, all right, I buy it. Whatever. So Molly's mom's drunk, or they think she is, but she's really possessed by like a space demon. So great. And then, oh yeah, Sailor Moon finally meets Darien, who I am jealous of, even as an adult. No, that's is like I remember reading something where it's like in the original one. I don't know about this version, but I guess they say that that Sailor Moon's like 12 and this guy's like 19 or some shit, which you're like, even at the time, you're like, you guys might want to like narrow that down a little bit. I don't know if that's true. I might be speaking out of turn, but I assume in this one he's like 16 and she's like 14, which like I don't know, whatever. But oh yeah, so she bumps into him, and then he's like, "Hey, meatball head," and that's funny because her hair's like little ball things with braids. I like that. I'm gonna call somebody a meatball head and see how it goes. They don't even have to have hair like that. People will go out with hair like that though. Maybe I'll just wait for the opportunity. But I'm gonna call somebody a meatball head. I'll report back. Anyway. Oh yeah, and then he like steals her paper and is like, "Wow, you're dumb." Like, she got like 30 out of 100 or something on a test. I wonder what the test was, because then that other guy's like, I didn't study enough and I got a 95. I love doing stuff like that though. Like I hated studying. There were kids who were like, they would forget their books at school, and they'd be like, "Hey, do you have yours? Like I live near you. Can I like borrow yours? Do you need it? Are you studying?" I'm like, I don't study. I just like remember stuff. Like I'm not gonna waste time on this. I'm gonna play video games all day and get fat. Fucking idiot. But oh yeah, and then Darien puts sunglasses on, so you know he's cool as hell. Like who, you know. He put sunglasses on. He's probably got a chain somewhere. I don't know. Sailor Venus, like, yeah, I said earlier, she's like famous already. Like, and she's in the opening credits, so you know it's her. I don't know. I think the original version has like different opening credits with like a different song or something. I didn't want to like read too much into it and get distracted. But yeah, so she's like, she's Sailor V right now, not Sailor Venus. But I think there's like a video game made after her. Maybe she's just franchised. She might be famous, which makes it weird because then later, when they meet her, I don't know if she's just like retired, or if she just like doesn't have a secret identity, or when she like transforms, if they're just like she changed, like she's a celebrity, she had a costume change, this is just her character. I don't know. That's another thing. I don't know if people recognize Sailor Moon when she's like not in form, you know, like a Clark Kent situation with Superman. But because I feel like I remember the show having stuff where it's like Darien and Serena don't know that they're Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Mask. I feel like maybe Darien knows, but she definitely doesn't because he's got his mask on. So he wears a tuxedo, he has a mask. I do want to know what his like originally translated Japanese name is. Maybe it's just the same, but I don't know. Yeah, and then she's like freaking out about having to show her mom their grades, which I wanted to relate to that, but that was just one of those things where you just gotta rip the Band-Aid off and do it, because like then that's another like Gambit pile-up situation where if you're like, all right, I'm not going to tell my mom I failed, but then the next day the teacher's like, well, you didn't sign that thing you need, and you're like, oh, I forgot, and then you're like double in trouble with them, and then now you're double in trouble with your parents supposedly. I don't know, some of you had parents that like smoked weed, mine didn't, so like I got actually in trouble for stuff. But yeah, stuff like that where it's just like the teacher knows that like you're now screwed at home, and like you're like a normal kid. You're like, I'm just gonna ruin this kid's day. Like I'm happy to do this. I love it. This is my job. It's like a meter maid. I know you don't all do it, but some of you do. So for those who do, go fuck yourself. Yeah, and then the cat's upset about it too. Oh yeah, because I guess the cat's like how are you this dumb? And because she hasn't turned into Sailor Moon yet. We're just following this random girl around at this point. Kind of weird. But the cat's like, you can't be this stupid and be like the chosen one or whatever. So that's great. And then right when she got home, I was like, Sailor Moon's mom, Serena, I guess. Who cares? But like, she's like, she's so upbeat. Like I know friends that had like moms like this where it's just like they're making you cookies all the goddamn time. They're just like, do you guys need anything like that? And she's all uppity and happy and stuff. And like, I'm like, oh, you can probably just show your mom your grades. Like, she's not gonna do anything too crazy. But then, oh yeah, and the mom thinks she was like with Melvin, and I don't know if she meant like after school that day, or like that they studied together the day before. I don't know if I missed a point where she like lied about going somewhere. Because it wasn't the shopping thing. Because she hasn't gone to bed for the night yet. Because she's got her thing that's draining her energy. Yeah, and then the mom freaks out. She gets like super mad, like way madder than I ever expected her to get. And she like yells at Serena. She's like, oh yeah, she locks her out of the house. And then I don't know where Serena goes. Where does she go? All the chicks at the jewelry store are like passing out because their energy's getting drained and stuff. Once again, Molly's accent is crazy. It reminds me of like Brittany Murphy a little bit too in Clueless, or Boy Meets World. But like, I don't know. It's such a funny accent. It's like, so what you want to do later? Like, do you want to go shopping? Do you want to go to the mall? Like, I don't know. I kind of love it, but I don't know what exactly it is. Oh yeah, and then okay, so then it's like Molly is at the shop still. And then she's like, or maybe she's home or something. But anyway, she's talking to her mom. And then she goes like, Mom. And then her mom does a total, I'm not Stu, where she like turns her face and it's like a demon face, which I loved. And then, oh yeah. And then the cat finally talks to Serena, which I guess I kind of buried the lead on that. But Serena at first is like, oh, the cat talks. That's crazy. But then the cat gives her a locket, which is, I don't know. I know it's a cartoon, but like, it's funny that she's like, holy shit, a fucking talking cat. Oh my God. Like, am I dreaming? But then the cat gives her jewelry and she's cool with that. She's like, oh, okay, let me try it on. She's at that point forgotten that she was like weirded out that the cat was talking. And I think, yeah, the cat's accent, I know I talked about it earlier, but like, it is weird, right? I don't know what to call it if it's British, but I want to say it's like transatlantic, but it's also something that like old ladies in the 30s, where it's like, it's like what a nice witch would sound like, if that makes sense. Not Glenda, but like a nice witch. And then it's funny how like the transformation animation is just like the same one they use every time. So she's not like freaking out that she's transformed. She just does it and she's fully confident and like standing upright and stuff. And then this reminded me of something that I thought was so funny, like watching cartoons as a kid, which is like so she transforms, and I don't know if it's like implied that she's nude or something, like if she's like shedding her normal clothes and like transforming into the sailor gear, or if it's like, you know, just amorphously changing. I don't know, but whatever. It was that thing where as a little kid, you're like, maybe if I stare hard enough at the animation, I'll like get a glimpse of something. And you're not even thinking like, no, the animator, they didn't like draw her nude and then like cover it up. Like, it's not there. Like, I remember thinking the same of like some Simpsons episode where like I think you could almost see something, and then there was something in like Dragon Ball Z with Bulma where like she steps out or something, and it's that thing where it's like, maybe like this on this, you've watched the episode a million times, you're like, maybe on this viewing though, like I'll see. I don't know. I like little kid stuff like that where you like there's no logic to it, but you're just like freaking out over it. But yeah. Oh yeah, and then I don't know. I guess this is a gripe, but like, it does kind of suck in shows like this that so much time, like same with Pokemon, same with Digimon. Dragon Ball Z does this, but in a different way where they're just charging up forever. But at least they're like talking and like there's still stuff going on. It's not just this stock charging up scene. But they're just used to burn time, and you're like, you could have got like 3 more minutes of story out of this if you just abandoned all this, but whatever. And then Molly's still at the store. And I don't know if this is like Sailor Moon using her sailor sense or whatever, but she hears Molly screaming, even though Serena's at home now. I don't know how she got back home. Maybe she went to the library for a little bit. I forgot. But because then it cuts back to Molly, and the Shinigami mom is like choking her out. Like, I don't know what she's doing. Molly's getting her energy drained from her like whatever she's got on, but the demon thing is just like choking the shit out of her. And I'm like, is she trying to kill her, or like, I don't know what her goal is, but it's like maybe the demon's like weak, but like just scary looking. I don't know, but yeah, she's choking the shit out of Molly. Serena runs pretty far to get there because I know she doesn't live like next to it. Maybe she does, and it's explained later. But yeah, and then Serena gets there, and the mom, she like her neck spins around like 180 degrees, and it looks pretty cool. I like that animation. And then at this point, I couldn't remember if in this show, if they did like karate against the bad guys or whatever, but because I'm like, I don't remember anybody ever throwing a fist over there. I know that when more of the scouts show up, they have like powers and stuff. Like one can shoot like fireballs, one can shoot like bubbles. But I don't know if they're doing it all that often. They're not like bam, bam, bubble, bubble, fireball, fireball. Because then Sailor Moon, she has her whole like thing where she goes like moon prism power, and then it like or moon tiara magic. That's it. And then she like launches her tiara disc, and it like vaporizes the demon immediately. But I don't know if in later episodes they like ever throw hands, or if it's just like a big build up to them transforming, and then they just nuke them basically. Because like it seems like there should be more fighting in this show, and I don't know if there is. It's just weird that like I know that there's a lot of like monsters of the week and like demons and stuff, but it just seems weird that it's just like transform, launch a laser at him, that's it. I don't know. And then, oh yeah, Tuxedo Mask earlier, he showed up and he throws like roses that are real sharp. I think those are his weapons, but I don't know if he conjures them or if he has to like make them or whatever. But surely he'll deal with some monster by like throwing roses at him. And then nobody ever bleeds in these shows; they just like vaporize. Or the one turns to dust, but then the dust itself like vanishes. And then, yeah, she one shots it with the tiara. But then I don't get where Molly's mom's body was, like. Because she looked like Molly's mom, but then she turns as Molly's mom into the demon. So I don't know if she like knocked Molly's mom out, dragged her somewhere, and then did her day's work. Because then later Molly's mom is like normal again, and she's like drunk or whatever. But I just don't know. I know it doesn't need to be explained. I'm just like, I don't know if when they made this, they were like, yeah, her mom just like magically reappears later or what. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Serena sees Darien again. She has hard eyes for him. That really made me jealous. Oh yeah. And so all the kids the next day, they're like, "Oh my god, I had a dream that there was somebody named Sailor Moon, and like your mom was a bitch." And then and they're all like, "Yeah, I had that dream too." And then they kind of just drop it. They're like, "Oh, that was weird." Like, cool. But yeah, the book and the episode by Serena needs sleep again. I don't know if you remember at the beginning she overslept and now she needs more sleep. But to be fair, she did save her town, wherever, her school. She saved like 30 people, so good for her. She did a good thing. Hopefully she keeps doing that. Oh god, I wonder, there's got to be an arc in this show somewhere where like somebody close to her dies or something. She like blames herself. There better be. Sailor says, I remember this because I knew somebody that was not allowed to watch Pokemon, but they were allowed to watch Sailor Moon, because it had this like educational message at the end of every episode. And yeah, it just tells you to believe in yourself. And the end credits, I forgot about this. I remember where it's just like clips from the episode and then the words and stuff, but like it's just her like silhouetted in the background, like staring at a tree while wind blows in her hair. And I'm like, is that going to be a scene in the show later? Or I don't know. And that's another, is like, so that's the end of the episode, but like, I don't know if, because they show like they're like Princess Serenity, and then she gets sent to the future. But they're showing this chick that looks like Sailor Moon at the beginning, and I don't know if that's like Sailor Moon of the time. Like I don't know if this is Power Rangers where it's like a mantle passed, or did they really travel through time? I don't know. I'm sure that it'll be explained. But then I'm gonna be like, so who's your mom, Serena, and who's like Sailor Mars' mom? And maybe some of them don't have parents. I don't know. I remember the red one. She lives at like a monastery or something. She actually can fight, so maybe she does the fighting. I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to like say more than I need to, so I guess I'm doing this now. But this is the stupidest idea ever. But we'll see how it goes. I know I ended up just recapping the show anyway, but hopefully I'll just like spiral out more and just talk about my random bullshit. Have a good day. Bye.